I had a gut full of the whole industry. I mean, it's a very strange place, Hollywood. But it's an odd place. And you imagine all these horror stories there that you think, boy, it seems as if I'm being sacrificed over here. No, that couldn't be true. And then you realize that it is true.
A lot of people are asking me to comment on Jim Carrey's appearance. And you can see this is him in 2006. And apparently this is him now.
When Jim Carrey walked onto the red carpet in Paris earlier this year, fans immediately felt that something wasn't right. Within minutes, screenshots and clips started spreading online. Some viewers claimed his face looked completely different. Others insisted the man on the red carpet looked like a totally new person. And before long, the theories started getting out of control. But just when the internet started diving deep into conspiracy theories, another Hollywood legend stepped in with a completely different explanation, one that might actually be far more disturbing than any conspiracy. Because according to Mel Gibson, what people saw that night wasn't a clone or a disguise. It was something much more real. It didn't take long before speculation turned into full-blown conspiracy theories. Some people believed the explanation was simple. They argued that Carrey had likely undergone cosmetic procedures to maintain a youthful appearance, but others weren't convinced. They believed something else was going on. Some users suggested that the person on the red carpet might actually be a body double wearing an incredibly realistic mask. Others pushed the idea even further, claiming the real Jim Carrey had somehow been replaced entirely. And then things took an even stranger twist. A well-known performance artist named Alexis Stone posted a photo online showing what appeared to be a hyper-realistic Jim Carrey prosthetic mask. The image spread across social media instantly. Fans thought the mystery had finally been solved, but that explanation didn't last long. Shortly after the photo went viral, digital analysis tools reportedly suggested the image itself had likely been manipulated. Meanwhile, representatives connected to the Académie des Césars confirmed that Jim Carrey himself had attended the ceremony in person. But even with that confirmation, the speculation didn't stop, because the internet had already moved on to the next theory. And this time, it involved something far more serious.
You know, I had a whole bunch of weird paranoid suspicions about what the hell was going on, because there was a lot of stuff I couldn't understand.
Right.
And nobody was really bothering to explain it to me. And I formed a bunch of opinions about the town and about the people in it. We're like, surely that couldn't be, because the whole place can't be like, you know, weird town. I mean, this is a bizarre place. You'll eat yourself alive here.
While social media debated clones and disguises, Mel Gibson offered a completely different perspective. According to Gibson, the real issue wasn't a conspiracy at all. It was Hollywood. Gibson has been outspoken for years about the pressures actors face behind the scenes. And when he looked at Jim Carrey's appearance, he didn't see anything mysterious. He saw something familiar, the pressure to stay young. According to comments circulating online, Gibson suggested that actors often feel forced to alter their appearance in order to remain competitive in the industry. Eye actors who age naturally sometimes find their opportunities shrinking. Roles disappear. Studios move on to younger faces. And the message becomes clear very quickly. Stay young or step aside. If that pressure is real, it means that what fans saw in Paris might not have been a bizarre transformation at all. It might have been the result of an industry quietly demanding it. And that idea raises an uncomfortable question. What does it actually cost to stay relevant in Hollywood?
A lot of people are asking me to comment on Jim Carrey's appearance. And you can see this is him in 2006. And apparently this is him now. He appears to have had an endoscopic brow lift, as evidenced by his brows being higher than before and his hairline being back a little bit. I also think he may have had some Botox injected into his forehead and an upper blepharoplasty. You can see how his eyelids are significantly more open than they used to be. He also may have had a mid-face and a lower facelift, lifting both his cheeks and the lower face and jowl region. And it does appear he's had some fat grafting into his cheeks to plump them up as well. His nose also looks quite a bit longer and refined. This could be a sign of a rhinoplasty. So either Jim Carrey has had a considerable amount of facial plastic surgery, or this isn't Jim Carrey.
Some experts suggested Carrey may have undergone a brow lift, which could explain why his eyebrows appeared higher than before. Others pointed to what they believed might be Botox treatments in the forehead area. There was also speculation about possible eyelid surgery, sometimes called an upper blepharoplasty, which can make the eyes appear more open. A few analysts even suggested the possibility of a facelift or fat grafting in the cheeks. Again, none of these claims have been confirmed publicly, but discussions like this are extremely common whenever a celebrity's appearance changes, especially especially in an industry where image is everything. And that brings us to another reason this story caught so much attention, because Jim Carrey has spent years speaking out about Hollywood itself.
You're supposed to say, we're important. You're supposed to say, it's all going to be all right. And you're supposed to say, whatever you dream can come true. And you're supposed to say all those things. I don't believe that any of it matters.
There's no meaning to any of this, so I wanted to find the most meaningless thing that I could come to and join.
Is that a gang sign? Have you,
Oh, like you don't know what it is. You don't know what that is.
I have no idea.
You don't know. Jimmy Fallon doesn't know. David Letterman doesn't know.
We don't know.
All the comics and show business don't know what this is.
Everything is divine. There's no thing that isn't divine. Everything is divine, and I'm that. I'm not the body. I'm you guys, and I'm this thing, and I'm this thing, and I'm the cameras, and it doesn't matter to me what's happening on them.
So you're just passing
We don't
through.
matter. We don't matter.
Oh, wow.
There's the good news.
Okay.
Long before this viral moment in Paris, Jim Carrey had already built a reputation for saying things that many people in Hollywood would never dare to say. In past interviews, he openly criticized the entertainment industry and questioned the way fame and identity are constructed. One particularly strange moment happened during an appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live, where Carrey delivered a bizarre and cryptic monologue referencing secret symbols and hidden power structures. At the time, many viewers thought the moment was simply another example of Carrey's eccentric humor. But when the recent controversy erupted, that clip suddenly resurfaced online, and some fans began connecting the dots. Online discussions started suggesting that Carrey had been speaking out about the industry years earlier. According to these rumors circulating on social media, some people believe his outspoken personality may have made him a controversial figure behind the scenes. It's important to note that these ideas remain speculation and online rumor, but once the internet begins building a narrative, it rarely stops there. Because for some viewers, the transformation scene in Paris suddenly looked like part of a much bigger story.
I watched everybody talking 1,000 miles an hour up there receiving their awards, and I was like, I'm dead. And I made mistakes, and I was like a novice.
Despite all the theories, there is a far simpler explanation that many people overlook. Aging, combined with possible cosmetic procedures, makeup, lighting, and camera angles, appearances can change dramatically on screen, and there were several moments during the event that suggested everything was completely normal. Jim Carrey delivered a full acceptance speech in French, which he had reportedly spent months preparing. He thanked his daughter, his grandson, and the people closest to him. After the ceremony, he even walked out to greet fans waiting outside. At one point, someone in the crowd reportedly shouted that the internet believed he had been replaced. Carrey simply smiled. Then he kept signing autographs. No dramatic reaction, no explanation, just a quiet smile, almost as if he already knew what the internet was saying. When the noise of the internet eventually fades, what's left behind might actually be a much more meaningful conversation. For decades, the entertainment industry has placed enormous pressure on actors to remain youthful long after the natural aging process begins, and faces slowly begin to look more and more artificial. But the irony of Jim Carrey's viral moment is that it happened during a ceremony celebrating his entire lifetime of work, and yet the internet couldn't stop talking about his appearance. Which raises an uncomfortable question. Are audiences truly demanding that celebrities stay young forever? Or is that pressure being created somewhere else? Because maybe the real mystery isn't whether Jim Carrey was replaced. Maybe the real mystery is what Hollywood expects its stars to sacrifice just to stay visible. And if that's the case, the story might be far bigger than one viral red carpet moment.